Deputy Commander of the Freedom of Russia Legion, Maximilian Andronnikov, does not regret leaving his homeland, but at the same time does not doubt the correctness of his choice of side in the war. I am ready to die defending Ukraine and the cause of a free Russia. The deputy commander of the formation of Russian soldiers fighting in the ranks of the Ukrainian Armed Forces emphasized in an interview with Lord Michael Ashcroft, published by The Express. According to Andronnikov, before Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, he worked as a fitness trainer in St. Petersburg. Upon learning of the start of a full-scale military action on the morning of February the 24th, 2022, Caesar decided to go and defend Ukraine with arms in hand, in which he received full support from his family. Maximilian Andronnikov came to Ukraine by fleeing Russia and crossing into Hungary. According to the 51-year-old officer, the Freedom of Russia Legion is supported in Ukraine. Caesar admits that he went through the toughest battles during the month and a half near Bakhmut. During this time, we have destroyed about 500 Wagner PMC fighters, Andronnikov noted. The Legion's deputy commander speaks out against Putin's regime. Putin is leading Russia into the abyss. For 25 years, he has led his people down the road of poverty, decay, and ruin. The Sochi native is sure. Andronnikov admitted that he has repeatedly refused the offer of Ukrainian citizenship. He wants to keep his Russian passport and free his homeland from Putin's regime. According to the deputy commander of the Freedom of Russia Legion, Vladimir Putin's regime will not last more than a year. A fighter from Freedom of Russia showed how quickly everything can change using a fresh historical example. February 2022, the aggressor army near Kiev. It would seem that just 3 days and everything is over. No, a couple of months later, the enemy army is fleeing. There are very critical moments in history. Ukraine has passed its most difficult phase. The enemy has been stopped. The enemy has been bled dry. The enemy is slowly moving forward with difficulty. Caesar also voiced his forecast for the timing of the fall of the Putin regime in the Russian Federation. Believe me, the Putin regime is not as strong as it tries to show itself to be. I am a Christian. I can say for sure that God is on our side. The truth is on our side. We will win, no matter how hard it is for us. But this Putin system will not last a decade. It has only a few months or a year left. Yes, he is trying to put everything on the line to control all resources, but he will not last long. Whatever the scenario, military or internal protest, we will overthrow this system and build a normal, civilized country. I am sure you will see all of this. The Russian volunteer concluded.
Germany is preparing more than 60 military procurement contracts by the end of this year, which must be approved by Parliament. They include the purchase of 20 Eurofighter fighters, up to 5,000 Boxer armored vehicles and at least 3,500 Patria OJ armored vehicles, Bloomberg reported, citing informed sources. Defense Minister Boris Pistorius briefed lawmakers on the government's priorities for turning the Bundeswehr into Europe's most powerful conventional army, according to sources who spoke on condition of anonymity. The German government is expected to approve a medium-term financial framework on Wednesday that would more than double the annual defense budget to €162 billion over 4 years. That level of funding is to be reached by 2029, well ahead of NATO's target of 3.5% of GDP by 2035. The massive purchase package was made possible after Chancellor Friedrich Merz's ruling coalition agreed to lift defense spending outside constitutional borrowing limits and to set up a special €500 billion debt fund to develop roads, railways, energy infrastructure and schools. Germany's defense buildup will have a distinctly European focus, the sources said, as Merz seeks to shift spending toward regionally produced goods to make the continent less dependent on US suppliers. NATO countries have pledged to increase defense spending because of Russia's war in Ukraine and concerns that the US may be less interested in defending Europe under Donald Trump's America First presidency. Given Europe's dependence on the US for military satellite communications, Germany plans to invest more than €15 billion in upgrading its satellite infrastructure in the coming years, the sources added. Topping the procurement list is the acquisition of 20 additional Eurofighter jets under a contract worth up to €3 billion. The Eurofighter is being built by a European consortium led by BAE Systems plc, Airbus SE and Italy's Leonardo SPA. Former Chancellor Olaf Scholz announced his intention to buy the jets at the ILA Air Show in Berlin last year, but the deal has yet to materialize due to disagreements over funding priorities within the previous government coalition. In 2020, Germany ordered 38 Eurofighters for €5.5 billion.
Russians are going crazy. They saw IDF special forces in Odessa. The IDF commando was given an Israeli flag on his tactical backpack and a beret from the Sanhanim paratrooper brigade, Ukrainian military expert Alexander Kovalenko said. Russian publics are already spreading a fake about elite Israeli paratroopers arriving in Odessa. But there is a nuance. The fact is that the Ukrainian airborne troops, just like many armies in the world, have airborne units, have dark burgundy berets, maroon, USA, Poland, France, and of course, Ukraine. The expert added, apparently it was a paratrooper from the 79th Airborne Assault Brigade who was captured at the bus stop, not Sanhanim. But the funniest thing is, of course, a Special Forces soldier from the elite Israeli paratroop brigade, Sanhanim, is sitting at an Odessa bus stop and waiting for a minibus. How did the generators of this nonsense even manage to fit together such incompatible puzzle pieces? Kovalenko asked. According to him, overall, this is a clear example of the ignorance of the basic material of Russian fake generators, who probably still think that Ukrainian paratroopers have blue berets. The extra chromosome does its insidious work. Recall the Paratroopers Brigade is an elite infantry brigade in the Israel Defense Forces. The brigade is under the command of the Central Command and is subordinate to the 98th Paratroopers Division, also known as Utzbat Ha'esh, a reserve service infantry division in the Israel Defense Forces. Soldiers of the Paratroopers Brigade wear a red beret and red boots. To distinguish themselves from other units, paratroopers wear tunic-styled uniform shirts with a belt on top, in addition to the belt they wear on their pants. Selection tests for admission to the Paratroopers Brigade are held twice a year in April and December. Candidates undergo various physical tests, such as running with sandbags and with a stretcher. Candidates must also demonstrate certain characteristics, such as responsibility, initiative, ability to improvise, etc.